Supporting the truth, even when it is unpopular, shows the capacity for honesty and integrity by Steve Brunkhorst. Truthfulness and personal integrity lend the building blocks for trust in relationships. Since the beginning of time, tales of integrity and truthfulness have delighted people across ages. Stories of courage and sacrifice, revealing men and women of honor, have fascinated generations since time immemorial. Today, we seek to bring alive the magic of storytelling as we weave 9 different tales, narratives which speak of valor and where the speaker themselves are the heroes of their stories. After all, Oprah says, everybody has a story, and there's something to be learned from every experience. We will begin by listening first to Dr. Christina H., Head of Department of Social Work, who will help us understand how being a truthful person helps us to earn a distinguished badge, a badge we will carry over our lifetime.
Good morning. I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to talk about truthfulness and integrity. This has happened way back in 80s, where most of you all wouldn't have been born. When I was doing my 10th standard in 84 in one of the schools in Ooty, a day came where we had to appear for our final year examination. Maths was a scary subject, not only for me, but for many of us. It so happened on the day of the examination, before the examination, I prayed that I should get a good invigilator. And then comes the paper. Then I prayed for both. My prayers were answered. I did get a good invigilator who was very kind enough. She sat in one place. She didn't walk around. Then came the paper. And you know what the reactions would be. It was very scary for me to see, as CBSE those days was very tough. We had to write both 9th and 10th together. And maths was too much for me. All trigonometry, geometry, everything was going above the head. Okay. As I got the paper, I didn't see the paper. I was just looking around. Guess what? The person next to me was an actor, A.R. Rahman, the co-brother of the musician. When I just saw him, he was also gasping around. So I became confident, okay, the paper is tough. And then I slowly looked into the paper because that was taught by my mother. She said, pray. But that time I didn't have the guts to pray also. So when I was just looking at the paper, it was really, I felt it was tough. But somehow I had the guts to approach the paper. I started writing. But constantly I kept on telling to myself, I'm going to fail. Then I thought, okay, I should pray. I prayed. But I did some kind of hard work on some tuitions my parents had spent on, and they sent me, and so all that I thought it would give me way. Finally, I finished and I came, and I'm happy that I finished maths through the paper, books out. Didn't see the question paper, even though my father asked me to show the question paper, and neither my father would have understood anything. That was secondary. The results came. I was stunned. Guess what? I got 42 marks. And those days, 42, for me, it was great. And my father didn't believe that I passed. He took 4 sources to find out, to confirm my result. Even before I could go in for my +2, that is PU admission, he asked me in front of the principal's room, you sure you passed? I said, yes, Dad, I passed. He was not happy. I mean, he was not confirmed. Again, he asked in front of the principal also, I hope my daughter's passed. He said, yes, your daughter's passed, you don't worry. And we will give her the admission and we'll give her a science group. Then my father said, okay, you did it. Your integrity has proved you. Your truthfulness has proved you. Your hard work has proved you. So my dear students, if I wanted only 40 marks and I got 2 marks extra, for that, should I say it was for my integrity? Yes, it was for my truthfulness, my hard work, which gave me way. In case I had to copy, if I had taken the help from my friends around, I would have got more than 60, but that was not what I want. Even today, if I could just think about some portions of my maths, I can vaguely remember something. That's because I did hard work. So truth always pays ways. So with these few words, I just leave you all to the next speaker. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am, for that inspiring tale. Can speaking the truth set one free? Let us find answers to this question with the help of Kea Banerjee from First BA.
The truth will not necessarily set you free, but truthfulness will. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kea Banerjee from 1BA JPO, and I am going to share my personal experience with truthfulness and integrity. This incident happened when I was in 10th grade. Our English teacher informed us about the inter-school one-act play competition. I was excited to participate in it since I'd always been passionate about acting. So I approached her and she accepted me in the team without any screening test or anything of that sort. I was really happy, but this excitement and this happiness didn't last long because soon I started hearing rumors as to how I got selected for the role without even auditioning for it just because I was a teacher's ward. Truth to be told, I was really disheartened on hearing that this was what people thought about it. But I soon realized where they were coming from. I believed that I'm a good actor and I didn't doubt my capabilities. So the next day, I met the teacher in charge of selecting the team and proposed the idea of auditions. Soon, the audition rounds were held and I got selected for the lead role. I'm really happy that I followed the truth and I didn't succumb to the fact that I almost got this opportunity through unfair means.
We will now hear from Ms. Maria Rajan, HOD, Department of Commerce, UG, on what happens when one is forced to lie in critical circumstances.
Dear students, a very good morning. I'm sure all of us would have heard this back in our school days. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty and truthfulness is the rarest wealth anyone can possess, and yet all the honesty in the world aren't lawful tender for a loaf of bread. This is the most common thing that we have heard back in our school days. Today, in the short time given to me, I would like to share a few incidents in my life of how honesty, transparency, and personal integrity has transformed me. More than calling it a transformation, let me take to tell you that it has given me a lot of peace and tranquility to lead my life. Let me begin with my first story. I remember in my moral science class, the very first question that we all learned as kids was who created you? And the answer would be, God created me. And the second question was, where is God? Our immediate answer as children would be, God is everywhere. This incident happened about when I was in my first year PUC. When I was about 16 years old, I had to take a local bus to travel from my place of work, from the house to the college every day. One day when I happened to board the bus, I paid 2 rupees to the conductor to take a ticket, and the ticket was just 1 rupee. And in return, the conductor gave me 10 rupees. This was something very shocking. And I didn't have the time to go and give back this money to the conductor because the bus was crowded. And in a hurried manner, the only thing I did was I kept this 10 rupees with me. I counted the change and I knew I had to give it back, but because of the crowd and the conductor was not in my visibility level. After a few minutes, the bus was free. So I got a chance to go and give back to the conductor. The conductor in turn thanked me and told me if I hadn't given him this, he had to give it back from his pocket to settle the amount on that day. This was the first incident that happened to me to understand the value of integrity. And this incident repeatedly happens to me because even till today, I take the bus to travel to college. And each time I get an extra amount from the conductor, not so often, but often, it is a chance for me to prove my integrity. And I'm sure most of you will also come across with this kind of real life event happening. We need to act accordingly. And I, as a mother of 2 kids, often narrate this incident to my children to teach them the value of personal integrity. Another example that integrity can be depicted is when we often go for shopping these days. After the government introduced the concept of GST, each time I visit Chickpet and when I purchase more products, I often get this sentence from the purchaser. He tells me, "Madam, why do you take a bill? We can waive off this huge amount of 18% of GST without paying it. You need not take a bill, but then you will get your products." They will not even give us time to think, is it true or what are we doing? But this is the oftentimes I'm put into such kind of a situation. So here something reminds me, a verse from the Bible, which often says, there's a verse from the Bible which says, what belongs to Caesar, give it to Caesar, and what belongs to God, give it to God. So here Caesar is nothing but the government. So from this example, we can clearly say, oftentimes we are caught in this kind of a situation where we have to decide, should we pay the GST or not? And often this comes to my mind to say, what belongs to the government, let's give it to the government. And what belongs to us, we need to keep it to us. This is again a question of personal integrity. Buddha often tells us, there's a particular verse from where Buddha talks about, he says 3 things can never be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And when you talk about the aspects of truthfulness, being true to yourself and being true to others. Moving forward, let me share one more incident in my life where I was asked not to be truthful. When I was in my class 8, I had to visit my cousin's place in Coimbatore. So me and my cousin were asked not to go to the terrace at her place and play because it was a little dangerous. But we decided to play with a lot of care and precaution. But destiny took another turn. As we were lost in our playtime, my cousin slipped and fell down the stairs and she came rolling down the stairs. I was asked by my cousin not to reveal the truth about her fall. And I kept quiet. But later in the night, she started vomiting and she turned out to become very serious. It was at this moment I had to reveal to my uncle and aunt that she had a terrible fall from the 2nd floor of her house. And this took a serious turn, in fact, which risked her own life. Thankfully, when I revealed the truth, she was hospitalized, and in a few months' time, she was all fine. It is after this incident I realized how, by not telling the truth, it can cost the life of a person or even push us to worse situations. Dear students, you need courage to tell the truth. From that day onwards, I decided to tell the truth, come what may. You may have to face difficulties. You may have to face rejections, and sometimes you may even be mocked. But our commitment to truth is often stretched even in the workplace. I've been working for the last 19 years, okay? It is sometimes very impossible to succeed at work by telling only the truth. Sometimes it even seems that the workplace is a different realm from the world where we are inhabited, because truth is actually out of place at work. So now, in spite of all the situations, be it your house or be it your workplace, and even in relationships, I've been married and we are all living in families. So even in our relationship, truth plays a dominant role. Personal integrity again plays a dominant role. So in whatever situations and in whatever roles that we play in our day-to-day life, we should never be afraid of speaking the truth. Learn to take a stand and don't waver in standing for what is right. No matter what everyone around you is doing or saying, stand firm on the truth. Do not be swayed by popular opinions. Let's always try to live our life with truth and integrity so that you will flourish to greater heights. Never mind, be courageous and be brave, speak the truth, be honest, and you will shine like a star, bright in the sight of God. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria ma'am. That was a beautiful and a moving tale. Rahul Kumar K from 2nd BCom will now share his perspective on how truth never damages a cause that is just in nature.
Good afternoon, one and all. This is Rahul Kumar from 2nd year BCom Tourism and Travel Management. Today I will be sharing my story, which taught me truthfulness is what matters. Firstly, I would like to share my experience which I had with my parents. One day when I was in school, there was a girl who came to me and proposed me. But at that time, I was really shocked and was not knowing what to do. But eventually that day evening, I rejected that proposal, saying that as we are students, we are not allowed to do this, and this is not the right age to get into relationships. At the same time, I went to my parents and told whatever has happened. And my parents had approached me in a very good way, saying that whatever have you done, I'm really proud of you. And that made me very happy. And here I want to tell you one thing is that being true to yourself will make you happy whenever you feel it. The second experience which I wanted to share with you all is one day during lockdown, I asked my parents of rupees 1,500. At that time, parents did not hesitate to give that amount, but uh, it is my responsibility that I need to tell why I'm going to utilize that amount. I sat with my parents and I explained everything, like why I'm going to utilize that amount. I was going to utilize that amount. I was going to invest in a company, and after a few days, I was uh, getting multiplied. I was getting paid the multiple amount. So after a few days, I got around 30,000, and that was my first income in my life. And I gave that amount to my parents. At this time, I being true to my parents, and I was being true to myself. So I got some opportunity, and I thought that I can become a successful person in life. The third experience which I wanted to share with you all is the experience which I had with my friend. Uh, the friend, he gave me an opportunity where we can learn and earn together. So one day he gave me an opportunity in his own business where we can learn and earn. I took this opportunity, I utilized this opportunity in a good way, and I came up in life. But that was not the end point. And still, till now, I'm getting opportunities. I'm just climbing the successful steps. And I wanted to tell you one thing. Till today, I'm true to everyone, true to myself, true to my friends, true to my teachers, and uh, true to everyone, so that I'm getting many opportunities to showcase our talents or to showcase who I am. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Next, we will listen to Sherin Johnson from First BA, who will share about how she strongly identifies and believes in the concept of personal integrity.
A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is deceitful. Hello, this is Sharon Johnson from First BA. Today, I'll be sharing my personal experience of personal integrity. This is when I was in class 8. I participated in a competition called Just a Minute. In that, on the spot, the participants will get the topic and then they have to speak about it. The student coordinator of this event was one of my senior whom I knew. So a day before the competition, I got a call. Ching ching. Guess who? Student coordinator. She was the one who had the topics. So she called me and told, if you want, I'll tell you your topic, but in return, you have to do my work. Complete silence in the call. And inside my mind, I was like, hooray! If I get the topic, I'll prepare well. If I'll prepare well, I'll win. But boom, I got back to my senses. My parents' upbringing did not allow me to say yes. So I refused. I told no, I don't want the topic. I'll do it myself. She was like, okay, that's fine. But hang on. Then I thought she might go and do this to others also. And if she does this, there will be no point of this competition. So I somehow convinced myself to tell this to my teacher. And then my teacher, she wisely changed the topics on the competition day. You know, teachers are smart. And the competition was held fair enough. I won second position. And I also got an appreciation letter from my principal. My mom always tells me, we can only really be happy, like truly happy, when we live in total integrity with ourselves, when we are really open, honest, and transparent. This is because we human beings need truth like we need food. We all lie, but the problem is that little things turn into big things. Because how we do anything is how we do everything. If you lie now, it is going to make lying way easier. But if you tell the truth now, the truth comes way easier later. But I know it is difficult because today we are flooded with definitions like honesty, hypocrisy, humility, and maybe we don't even know what they actually mean. Because if you Google them, the surface definitions are easy, but when we put them into practice, they don't work. So, the moral of the story is one day the power of truthfulness and integrity will sparkle your life with peace and prosperity. So, stay truthful. Thank you.
Now we will have Mr. Sachin Mundakil, Department of Humanities, narrating to us an instance from his life where his honest nature was trusted deeply by a stranger and granted him privileges.
Good afternoon, dear students, and I'm very happy today to share with all of you one of the incidents that I cherish most in my life, wherein which it could be two sides of it. Could be one part of it could be my own honesty. At the same time, the other one is his goodness and virtue of goodness that he showed towards me. It all happened on a train journey. I finished my MA Literature post-graduation, and I just began my train journey. In fact, I had finished my internship from IIT, and I was coming down from Odisha to Thrissur. So it's a long train journey of 24 hours, and I hadn't got a reserved compartment to sit on. So I got a general ticket and got inside a reserved compartment because general compartment was completely filled with people, and I couldn't even keep my suitcase or stand by myself. So I was thinking about being there in the reserved compartment. When the ticket examiner comes, I could discuss with him and get a seat in the reserved compartment. So the ticket examiner came and asked me whether have I got a ticket that is for the reserved compartment. I said, no, I don't have. I would like to have one. I can pay for it. In fact, I only had 2,000 rupees in my hand. And so the ticket examiner said, okay, so the only available seat is in second tier AC, which costs around 1,800 rupees for you. So it was already Vizag, Visakhapatnam. And I had to travel till Kerala, Thrissur. So the train goes through Tamil Nadu, reaches Chennai, and from there it moves on. So the thing is, I said, I have only this much of money, and you could give me this particular ticket. And they agreed and paid 1,800, and I got, and I had clarified. So with this ticket, I can travel till the destination point, that is in Thrissur in Kerala. Both the TTs agreed, yes, but there will be a ticket examiner changing that is happening from Chennai. So you may have to show the same ticket to the particular ticket examiner and tell that it has been already paid and you can continue the journey. So that was the decision that is made, and I was just enjoying this. First time I was in fact traveling in a second tier AC and enjoying the cool environment and traveling, and reached Chennai, and those ticket examiner went and the new ones came. And as usual, they came for examining the ticket from me, and the person said that this particular ticket is valid till only Chennai. Now, if you want to travel, you will have to again take another ticket from Chennai to Kerala. But I said, this is what the other ticket examiners told me, and I've paid it till my destination. So the particular senior ticket examiner did not agree to that fact. Then I said, sir, I'm a student, just finished my internship, and I have only this many amount and only 200 rupees with me. Then he said, if you want to travel again in second tier AC from here to Kerala, you will have to pay again 1,800 rupees. I said, I have only 200. So I said, then I can go to the general compartment, hope now it will be free and I can get back there. But the thing is, to my surprise, the ticket examiner said, no worry, you just wait there, I'll get back to you. So I was sitting there, and after some time he came and he said, handed over to me a ticket and said, you know what, you could just travel with this ticket, nobody will disturb you. That was something surpriseful for me, because I just told what happened to me, and I told him I'm ready to move on to the next compartment, but he was ready. I don't know what it could be. He must have seen an integrity in me, or I'm honest with what I have said to him. So he understood my situation, and his goodness made it happen. So I was traveling there. And again, to my surprise, when the train reached Coimbatore Junction or Coimbatore Station, this senior ticket examiner comes up with came to me with a particular plastic bag And when I opened, it is Sharavana restaurant and full vegetable meal. And he told me, he knew by my name then, though I forgotten his name. He told me that, you can have this lunch. In fact, my family was supposed to join me from this particular station. They're traveling in car. So I had ordered for them. You could have it. So a kind gesture of love and concern that he showed me. At the same time, I was truthful and I was ready to tell him my condition. So being truthful in any difficult situation, which surely, dear students, will make you give privileges. Sometimes it would be very difficult. When I think about that particular incident, if you are in my place on a train journey, having 200 rupees in your hand, getting insulted sometimes will be a difficult thing. But having gone through this, it's a real miracle and a goodness from his part. The result of it being truthful, the goodness from his part. At the same time, being truthful will always take you forward. Thank you so much for listening.
Truth is still a truth, even if no one believes it. Divya S. from First BCom TT would help us understand the statement in context of our life experiences.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I would like to begin with a core value, that is truthfulness and personal integrity. So, integrity means being honest with yourself. That is, action plus value plus belief is equal to integrity. So, I would like to share my real-time experience where I feel truth is so rare in this society. The title of my story is Truth is Still a Truth, even if no one believes it. A lie is even a lie if even if everyone believes it. My name is Divya. When I was pursuing 12th standard in Kendra Vidyalaya Malleshwaram, my home was very far from the school. I need to travel 1 hour daily to reach the school. I had a friend near my home as Raj. So our parents told us to travel together because the school timings was early in the morning, 7 a.m. So we were a little afraid of sending him alone to the school. So we were traveling daily in the school in the bus. One day in bus, he had been fainted. I didn't know he was back of me. And when I saw him, he had been fainted. It was difficult for me to identify what was happening in the bank. When the stop came near, I just saw him back. He was being fainted. I was literally very blank for a second. I thought of pouring a water on his face. So the next time, one girl from my class, she was in the bus. I didn't knew that. She saw me with him sitting in the bus. She informed ma'am that we both were bunking the class and going somewhere else. But me and him got down in the next stop and so ran to the college in fear because it was really late. It was like my school timing was 7 o'clock and I reached at 7:55. When we entered the class, we sat in our place and asked sorry for being late. Ma'am did not reply anything to us. She just asked, like in middle of the class, she asked me and Raj to stand up and asked, what was your plan today? We did not realize what was ma'am trying to ask us and we were very quiet. She directly asked me, why do you travel with him? I replied, my parents had told to travel with him because I come from very far. Then she suddenly asked, you do not have any girlfriends, only boyfriends. I literally started crying. Again, she asked the same question to him. Then we realized what was she trying to ask about us. And Raj started telling that he was being fainted in the bus and I was the one to help him. But she was not ready to listen to us. She just started telling, I have heard many life stories like this. Try something new with me. But we told ma'am, no ma'am, it was not situation, but she was not ready to listen us. Then she told, just get out of my class and be out, like permanently. And we was in a stage like crying and we just went out. And she was like, it was very insulting for us because she scolded in front of the whole class, like nearly to 80 students. And finally, Raj was asking sorry to me. I told, absolutely not your fault. So I feel that truth is so rare nowadays. Still now, ma'am hates me, but still I love her. So I conclude by speech that do not judge people before you know something, whole story about them, and be who you are. The first thing is that be who you are. The first steps towards being better than you are. Thank you.
Abhishek BN from first year MBA will now recount to us his understanding on the guiding principles of faith, which he believes to be our honesty and integrity.
Real integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. Good afternoon. My name is Abhishek from first year MBA. I'm here to share my personal experience. Few days back, I went to shopping. There I saw an elderly couple in the cash counter. I did shopping for around 1,000 rupees. Then I paid them 1,000 and they gave me 400 rupees back. The bill was around 720. They gave me 400, but I was confused. And I asked them to recheck the bill. And they rechecked the bill and they gave me the correct amount. They were happy that I told them the correct amount, and they appreciated my truthfulness for that kind gesture. And they were also told me to continue this kindness and truthfulness. The second incident is way back during my school days. I joined music class, and after 1 month, 2 months, I didn't have the courage to learn the music notes. Then I thought of bunking the class and going to gaming center. For 2-3 weeks, I bunked the music class, and I went to gaming center. My parents got to know that I was they were happy that I was truthful to them, and they appreciated to continue that truthfulness.
Well, we just experienced some network issues. Apologies for the disturbance. We will now listen to Mr. Varkey Matthew, Manager, Office Administration, who will share with us his take on ways to practice integrity in our personal and professional spheres.
Good afternoon, one and all. To begin with, let me start with a quote by Miguel Angel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your word, speak with integrity, say only what you mean. Avoid using word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Now, what is integrity? Integrity can be put in few words. Integrity is the quality of being honest, respect, creating trust, pride, responsibility, keeping promises, helping others. A person who demonstrates integrity displays strong moral principles or moral uprightness. He or she acts whole in intention and in action, with no room for double-minded motives or deeds. Acting with integrity is the simplest and least stressful choice to make as an adult, because the truth really does set you free. Integrity, I believe, is the most essential characteristic of defining a person's true self. The question is, what do you have in any relationship, whether business or personal, when the bond of trust has been broken? The relationship is then strained by doubt, fear of betrayal, and constantly questioned because the lack of stability and safety. We all need emotional security in our relationships. That is just how we are wired. Feeling emotionally safe and with another person is a fundamental part of intimacy. You and I need this key aspect to have healthy, happy, meaningful relationships in our lives. As adults, as parents, as leaders in our profession, we should be leading by example, by being honest in all things, even if it goes to the smallest matter you're dealing with. It all starts with being honest with ourselves. To cite an example, I didn't think if we had a problem with telling people I would show up for something, but then never actually show up. How horribly rude and immature. It will take years to value our own word, other people's time and emotions when committing ourselves to things. It also takes you and me years to value the beautiful simplicity of being honest and simply saying no. The power of honesty literally relieves stress from the body and mind. I can tell you from my experience. I have total peace of mind all the time because I'm simply honest about my desires, needs, wants, dislikes, and so forth. I work at this daily to remind myself my integrity is worth everything to me, and that's okay to tell people how I'm really feeling. Being honest with my feelings allowed me to value how I spend my time, and time is the most precious gift. We have it. It also allowed me the opportunity to accept and appreciate others' honesty. How much respect do we have for a person who is simply honest, how they are feeling or what the expectations are? Let me ask a few questions. How honest are you with yourself? Are you reliable? When you give a word or make a commitment, do you keep them? If your words mean nothing to you, then eventually you will expose the true conditions of your heart to others. Selfishness is the root of deceitfulness and lying. Do not fool yourself, my dear friends. If you cannot be honest with every person in your sphere of influence, and you're constantly having to tell lies, then you, my dear brothers and sisters, you are in desperate need of soul cleansing. Seriously, think about it if that needs to be done. Now, if you're hearing this and your conscience condemns you, be encouraged. You aren't condemned or banished from being the upright, consistent, dependable woman or man you desire to be. Forgive yourself. And then, with great purpose, move in a different direction. Move forward towards truth, towards the light of what will truly bring you happiness. Freedom from the exhaustion of always telling half-truths. Freedom from the heavy burdens of broken relationships. Part of your healing is to forgive yourself. The other part is to start mending your relationships by simply being honest with others. You're loved, and those around you, and only you want you, they only want you to be happy. Set yourself free. Today and right now, your integrity is the currency of life and the workplace and at home. Integrity is the key to unlock all the best doors this life has to offer. Be encouraged. Your honesty, you're worth honesty for yourself and others. Truth and integrity lie very close to one another. In the absence of what is true, all that remain are power and manipulation. What takes the place once occupied by truth are private agenda, community ideals, rhetorical force, savage and personal attacks, fabrications, exaggerations, and power seeking. In the absence of truth, lying becomes the common coin of the realm. And this lying takes on especially infectious forms when it becomes religious. For then God is pressed into service for personal advantage. The stage is then set for terrible things to happen. We understand the dark side of this connection. As I conclude, I would like to say a quote by Dennis Prager. Goodness is about character, integrity, honesty, kindness, generosity, moral courageous, and the like. More than anything else, it is about how we treat other people. Thank you one and all. Be safe, healthy, and keep smiling.
And with this, we conclude our narratives. Thank you to all the narrators for sharing with us their heartful thoughts on the theme. To conclude, we choose to become what we want to be. We are our choices. So go ahead and build yourself a great story. Thank you.